up. In this room, this is going to be the guest room, but we have a bed. That's all we have. So I am trying to figure out some paint colors if I go with this wallpaper. I'm trying to figure out where the wallpaper should end and begin. And eventually, I can't decide if I want to replace this carpet to a different carpet or hardwoods. And now it's just figuring out what surfaces will even have this wallpaper and which surfaces will be painted. And then if they are painted, what color will that paint be? What color will the trim be? There's just a lot of details. Here's what I'm thinking. Pearly, you just hanging out? So I'm thinking a medium shade green like this. I'm gonna put it near a window. I have fabric samples everywhere. What do we think? I put together a mood board for the guest room. This is the look I'm kind of going for. Almost like a country garden vibe. And yeah, so here's what I have. We already have the bed. We have the wallpaper. Before I get started with some work up on that room, I wanted to give you an update on this cafe curtain window, because last time in my last video I did not finish it, but I did one in the last video, and then I wanted to show you the final look. I love them. They just add the perfect amount of privacy when we want it, but still lets in a ton of light. I love it. The fabric is it's different, it's unique. Normally I would go for something a little lighter. I'm still trying to figure out what color to paint this wall. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. I am getting a snack before I get started, but I've been taking Synbiotic. This is a prebiotic, probiotic, postbiotic 3-in-1 supplement that is supposed to support your gut health. And I've gone my whole life without taking anything like this, and I've always had a little bit of like gut health issues. Then maybe I should see someone about that. But ever since taking this, I have noticed a difference. I have had way less bloating, way less like digestive discomfort, and I've been using Ritual for years now, just not this product, but I've been using their multivitamin. I took their prenatals, their postnatals, they do have a postnatal, prenatal, postnatal, and the regular women's multivitamin. So I'm about to take these, and Ritual is kindly sponsoring this portion of the video. They gave me a code if you want to try out some vitamins, if you want to try the Synbiotic Plus. It is Pretty in the Pines 25, which will give you 25% off your first month. But Ritual is a brand that I have trusted for years. So many products of theirs that I've used, and yeah, I'm really excited to continue using this Synbiotic Plus. We also started some gardening projects with Brooksy. We are growing all sorts of flowers over here, broccoli, tomatoes. It's been so fun, like waking up and seeing the differences and showing Brooks. I'm so excited. Need to find where I'm going to actually plant these outside. This room is my favorite room. I might have said that about somewhere else, but I think this truly is my favorite room in this entire house. And I think it's because it feels like you're in a dollhouse. It's at the top of the house, so it's very, very bright. And today is gloomy, but when the sun is out, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Really been loving like bringing more patterns and prints into my home. So I actually didn't want this room to feel too busy, so I wanted to break it up. Part of the wall is going to be molding, paint, and like have a chair rail, which will divide that section and the wallpaper section. Maybe some old vintage wood tones, like you can maybe see the bed that I found. I might not finish it now. Like I feel like with all the rooms that I decorate, it's like a year-long process, but this will be a good chunk of it. And I plan to like make DIY cushions for those nooks. I put tape and a pattern just to kind of come up with a layout of the molding that I want. I've got 2 different molding types. I'll show you. This is the chair rail molding. So this will be what divides the wallpaper and the paint. Let the painting begin. From the fabric store. I am hoping to make cushions for those windows in the guest room, and I have made tiny cushions before for like a kid's table, but I've never made like giant cushions before, like this one's going to be. They're going to be in those nooks with the windows. It's going to be, I'm going to fill it with pillows, and it's going to be just a cozy, comfy reading nook. So I found 2 options. This one, I don't even know, well, I'll show you the first option, where I might not even have enough fabric, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I might not have enough fabric for this. This is the first one, and I chose this because it is all of the colors that this room encompasses. This was the most fabric they had of this pattern, so I was just like, I'll take all of it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, maybe I can do like pillow covers or something, but this is the first option, if there's enough. And I think there could be enough. What do you think?
I like it.
Do you think it's enough for 2 cushions?
For 2 cushions in that room? Yeah, that should be enough.
Other option is a pattern that I saw it and I was like, that is the most beautiful pattern I've ever seen. And I don't know what it's going to look like with that wallpaper though, because it is a neutral background and it might clash with the neutral-ish background of the wallpaper. If I don't use it in that room, I'm using it in somewhere. The colors, let me show close up. But it's like there's some green, there's some pinks, blues. Are you ready to see it? Here's the progress. I personally really, really love it. I think it's gonna look so good. We're gonna paint that green so it goes all the way, but that's a little tricky spot. As you can see, it's kind of dangerous. So I feel like we're in a predicament though, because I don't know if this will dry. Well, obviously it will dry, but you can see the wallpaper is super wet right now. So you can see the green paint underneath, which is concerning. But again, I don't know if it dries, if it will be less transparent.
But just in case.
But just in case, we decided over here to paint over the green so that there is no issue. So I hope that solves it, but I'll keep you updated as it gets drier. So we can always have them we can replace this little section if it dries and it's still very, very noticeable. But oh my gosh, it looks so good. I'm really glad that we went with this wallpaper. It's warm. It has, oh, it's so cozy.
So cozy.
So they're gonna add wallpaper inside there. We're gonna paint the windows green. Cushions are gonna go right there. And yeah, we'll see how far they get today. I'm holding up a pillow as a reveal curtain. And this is the progress that we've made. I did not order enough wallpaper, so you'll see where we didn't quite get, but it's still a ton of progress. So that's where we are. I love it so, so much. We are not worrying about that side of the room for now. We're also not worrying about this right here. I had to order more, so, but I think it looks really, really, really good. The next step is doing some paint touch-ups, painting the windows green, adding the molding that I wanted to do in like little rectangles right there. So that's the next step. And then there's some more paint touch-ups up there too. So the trim that we're using for these little boxes is just a really simple wooden trim. So this is what it looks like. And we're going to start cutting them. We're going to fill this entire wall back here, and then we're going to fill really everywhere you see dark, or everywhere you see green. This is the easy, not easy, this is the low mess way, I guess. Like, can set your angle that you're kneading it at. Okay, so it's a 45-degree angle that you'll need. This is just a practice. So this is at 45, you can see the wood right there. And again, if you want it to be as easy as possible, I would not recommend getting wood trim. I would do the polyurethane trim. It's much easier to cut with these. There we go. Once you have all your 45-degree angle cuts, and if you're doing a lot of these, you can just, and you need a lot of the same measurements, you can just like measure using the other one. You are painting windows anytime soon, this brush is the absolute best brush. It's by Zebra. I'll link it in this video, but it is like, they have a kit. I'm going to show you the whole kit. So here's the kit, and they have a brush. This one came right here for everything, and it makes painting so much easier and less daunting. So I was trying to paint everything with one of those before, and it was not fun. So I forgot that I had this kit downstairs, so I got it, and I've been using the square detail brush for all of the window trim. Here is the progress on this room. I love how it's looking. I absolutely love the wallpaper selection, and I love the green. The green is very colorful. And if you look closely, you can see that there are hints of purple in the wallpaper. So I do want to find a way to incorporate that a little more. Oh my gosh. I love it. It has been so gloomy, but today the sun is shining just a little bit. So I wanted to show the results. I think the green looks so good. Looks so good. Okay, and then I did tell you about the wallpaper. You can slightly see the darkness of paint behind the wallpaper, but it did dry, and it's very, very hard to notice. So I think I'm just gonna leave it. If it really, really bothers me, we can just redo that little area. It is looking so good. We did not get to the side of the room, but that's gonna be in a different part. Part two is coming soon. I still haven't decided on the fabric for this nook, but I know I want to add like big comfy pillows in there. Would love to add like a sconce on the wall with like rechargeable light bulbs, because we're not going to be doing any like rewiring of that sort. But yeah, I love it. It's looking really, really good. It's fun, it's colorful. This house already had so much character, but I wanted to see if I could just add a little bit more. And it really does remind me of like a countryside cottage. And this is the light that I found at an antique shop. The antique shop, if you're local, it's called Streets of London Antiques. And everything there is really just like sourced from England. It's very unique if you look closely at the details.